I see drops being stingy again and not letting anybody hit the target. Sorry, everybody. Hello. Hope you're having a nice weekend. We are in mid-transition right now here in the Northland into Hoth. So that's a thing. It's going to be like a high of below 0 Fahrenheit. Let's see. Let's find out actually what the highs, what they're forecasting the high tomorrow. It's 2 right now, Fahrenheit. It was 10 when I went running. Temperature's been just dropping all day. It's a high of -2 with a low of -11 tomorrow. And then on Monday, to celebrate, to honor, that's a better word, to honor Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., it'll be a high of -7. And then we'll creep back up to 6 on Tuesday. So, yeah. And then on Wednesday, it'll be 28. Because that's how things work here. That is how things work. Climate change. Woohoo! Destabilizing the polar vortex. Gotta love it. Anyway, so if, I know the cold weather is going to be hitting a bunch of parts of the U.S., so I know that's that, but yeah, it's definitely hitting here, and our transformation into Hoth will be complete sometime in the overnight hours tonight. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I get out for a run tomorrow and Monday, since I don't have to work on Monday, so I might be able to get out when it's. What did I say the high was going to be? Might be able to get out when it's up to -7 or something. Or maybe not. Well, we'll see. Anyway, I did my recital. I've got a video. We'll watch that in a little bit when we take a break. Nivex says high is supposed to be 28 here on Monday. Very cold for North Carolina, yeah. That's a nice, I know it'll be cold for you. I'm thinking right now, oh, that's nice and balmy. I would be actually like, my ideal winter would be if it was like high of about 25 every day with, maybe one big snow of like 6 to 10 inches early in the season. And then maybe like once a week, once every 10 days, we get maybe like another inch of snow. Not a lot, it doesn't just, you get the base laid on the ski trails, and then the plows can do their thing, and everybody can just, it gets it out of the way, and then the people that want to play in the snow can go play in the snow, and the people that don't want to play in the snow can just do whatever and not have it bother them. And then, yeah, that would be that. If I controlled the weather, that is what I would do. That is what I would do. Anyway, let's do a thing. Let's do some warm-ups. Oh, I said we were going to do, I don't want to do Schroeder first. I'm just going to do that. Let's do this one first. Let's do it this way. That's what I want. Chat, give me a number, an integers on this channel, please. Give me an integer, please. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Actually, I lied. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, or 4. That will determine what position I do this exercise in. 3.5. 3.5. That was, wait. Yeah, that is an option. Upper third. That's upper. I'm considering 3.5 upper third position. Wait a minute. No. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. I can figure this out. So this is third position. Regular. Oh, sorry, that's first position. This is third position. Upper third position is. We start on E flat. We can do this. We can do this, chat. Thank you, Nivex. Thank you, Rada. Oh, you're writing code, Nivex. I don't know. I'm not a coder. I don't understand. Actually, I do. I do data. I actually do understand that. It's an but I don't. Does the integer? I don't know what floor is, but I know what round is. I don't know. Just don't make it a string. There you are. I mean, technically, it's categorical data. Floor is, oh, it just, floor, okay, that makes sense. You just drop the decimal point and round. So if you round, then is that, okay, so 3.5 equals 4, so it's going up 5 or greater and down less than 5. In this case, yeah, it's categorical data, so there is no rounding. Is getting a little fatigued. That one's kind of, can be kind of hard on my wrist. Okay, so what did we do? We did upper third position. Okay, chat, you're going to pick the next exercise here. What did I do last time? an integer 0 through 8. That's 0 through 8, please. What's up, Tesno? While we're waiting, Nivex says 7. Okay, we'll do 7. Rada, you and Nivex are like totally on the same page. I like it. I like it. Brain's shutting down. Oh no. I mean, it is kind of late. Nivex says, Rada, are we sharing the brain cell tonight? I'll leave you two to figure out the brain cell sharing duties. Okay, so we said 7. 7. That's this one. So we're gonna do. Oh, that one's in 4. What tempo do we do those at? This is the right tempo. Wait. No. That's not right. That's not the right tempo. That's not what we're doing here. 18, 10. Oh, that's why. That's why. 104. Let's slow that down. Let's try 96. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Turn that back on. Let's turn it down a little bit. Let me take a quick rest here. Let's turn it down again. I want to do this correctly. It does me no good to play with a bunch of mistakes and to hit like 60% of the notes. that's enough of this one, I think. Let me just write down. We did 17. We'll call it 88. Because I ended at 88 BPM, so we'll call it 88. And then maybe next time I do that one, I'll start with 88. Okay. All right, another one. Pick a number, an integer, please. Integers only. Between 1 and 12. 1 and 12. And that will determine what key I do my shifting exercise in. Cathedora says 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no! Cathedora, guess what you picked? Guess what you picked? So we were talking. So last week at Joe Plays Violin stream, she was working on a live transcription, or like working on her. I don't remember if she was actually doing a transcription or if she was just working on an arrangement. And she was really stubborn about just like, she was doing it on accordion, and she was really stubborn about not changing the key. But she ended up in a situation where she was playing an F sharp major, and Cathedora, guess what key you just picked? You picked F sharp major. And for those of you that don't know, F sharp major has 6 sharps, including E sharp, which you don't see very often. And most of the time, E sharp is called F. But in some cases, E sharp, some cases, F is called E sharp. And this is that case. So let me just take a second here. I mean, I have worked on this, so let me get my brain into F sharp major. So for this exercise, then it would be, let me get an F sharp drone. Let me get an F sharp drone. It's good for me. It's good for me. And I don't actually I just have to know the patterns, so it's not too bad. I'm not trying to like transpose on the fly or something. That would be less than ideal. So we got B. So we start extended, B, C sharp, and D sharp. So we got 2 extensions in a row. And then 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. Wait. It's not too bad. So you got 2 extensions, then we got regular 1, 3, 4. Okay. That's enough of that one. So see, not actually like, when you don't have to actually like read music, it's not too bad. Or like transpose. It's just a matter of like getting the finger pattern right. Okay, so what we're gonna do is oh, I didn't time that. Let's call that like 2 minutes. Okay. And then when I'm just gonna go around the circle of this. Okay, chat. Do we go left or do we go right? We go left or do we go right? That is the question. That will determine the next key. We're going to go left. All right. To the left is C sharp major, which is all of the sharps, including everything is sharp. Or you could call it D flat major. And I'm going to call it D flat major because D flat major only has 5 flats as opposed to 7 sharps. It's just a little nicer to think about. And that finger pattern is completely, well, see, I think I would play it, actually, it doesn't matter. It's the same tone. But I think I would play the fingering different. If it's C sharp major, because usually I start this on B and there is no B. So never mind. Never mind about that thought exercise. That was kind of making my brain start to hurt, and I don't want to do that to everybody there. So we're gonna do this. So this is in half position, where as opposed to F sharp major started in extended first position. This is starting in half position. Let me just get into the key signature brain. That's enough of that. I'll call that good. Let me write down what we did here. Because I definitely want to make sure I give myself credit for F sharp major. Definitely want credit for that. Okay. We're done with Feuillard. What are we doing now? Oh, we're doing the Etude. Doing the Etude. We're doing the Meow Mix Etude, and I need to play the Meow Mix Etude slower if I want to work on my vibrato. So do we want to do them actually? Let's do... I didn't do a very good job of putting these things in order. Set song 1, 2, 2. Let's do some vibrato exercises, and we can chat while I'm doing that. I'm not gonna set the metronome. So what's going on, everybody? What have you been up to? I had a very busy week. I had stuff. I had a recital. I had a dentist appointment. I had a lesson. And then it got cold. I got invited to go to a show with one of my friends, and I was just like, I can't. I'm so tired. So tired. It sounded really cool, too. It was like a... some kind of, there were strings, like bowed strings, and it sounded, and looping, or there was looping, I don't know, and it sounded really cool, and I was like, I can't do it, I can't do it, can't do it, I need to just go for a run, and stare at the wall. Rada says, work mostly and work more, yeah. Isn't that annoying, work getting in the way of fun things? Cathador says, recital seemed like it went well. Yeah, it did. So let's talk about that, actually. We'll talk about that. So we'll watch it also, but I'll talk about it first. So, yeah, one of my friends came, and there were 8 performers. They're all students of my teacher, ranging in age and ability levels. Like, there was one newer student that looked like they were very young, that was playing out of Suzuki Book 1. They rocked on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. There was a kerfuffle beforehand with the twinkle, because so I had sometimes, like, before every recital, so I'm playing with an accompanist. My last recital I didn't, because it was an unaccompanied piece. It was just a solo cello piece, but usually I play with an accompanist, and I did. I played with the accompanist that I've played with every time except once when I've had an accompanist. She's fantastic. Anyway, so my rehearsal time was day of, like an hour before curtain, right? Like an hour before the recital started. Which is fine. Like, I wasn't worried about it. And the accompanist is amazing. So, like, she's so good. So I wasn't, like, worried about it. But I was there really early. So I kind of saw all the, my teacher was there, and kind of saw some of the pre-stuff. And I guess the accompanist didn't happen to have a copy of Suzuki Book 1's piano accompaniment handy, so she and my teacher were digging around, and then it all worked out. But there was a little flurry of activity, but we got it figured out. They got it figured out, and the student did very well. They did well, and then there was actually, like, here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this up here. So there was an incident during the recital, or like right before one of like the younger students, but like I would say maybe middle school type age student. And it was like I said, it was really cold. It's been, we've had, like, temperatures have been up and down a lot this year. So it's like you never get acclimated to anything. So right before, like, when the other student went to grab their cello. So what happens when it's cold is it's often low humidity. And what's up, Yellen? And so low humidity means that wood, most cellos are wood. My cello is not, but most cellos are wood. And wood will shrink and expand depending on how much humidity there is. So, and they don't really like being transported in the cold where the humidity changes. So anyway, student goes to pick up his cello, and we just hear a noise. We hear a noise that sounded kind of like his peg slipped, his C string broke. And so the kid's got no C string on the cello. And then, so my teacher's like looking at it and looking, I thought I couldn't see what was happening because it was on the other side of the auditorium. And anyway, so I thought maybe just the peg had slipped. But no, the string popped. So my teacher's looking over there, like he's looking at the cello, trying to see if he can fix it. And then he's like, "Oh, we'll just, I don't think we need the C string for this piece." So the student goes up, and then they were going to start, but I guess there were some notes on the C string. So then the next student in the order loaned their cello, it was a little tricky thing because the student probably had a 3/4 size cello, not a full size cello. So I think there was probably only one option. So the other student graciously let the C stringless student use their cello. And then so the student borrowing the cello had 2 pieces that they played, and first the one did really well. Like I was really impressed on especially the first piece. The second piece was maybe not perfect, but the first piece, they just after having the stress of they're playing somebody else's cello and and the other thing was the cello that was borrowed didn't have tapes on it. And this student was used to playing with tapes. So that's where you put a piece of tape on the fingerboard so you know where to put your fingers, like a visual indicator. And it's a little bit of a tactile indicator. So anyway, so the student didn't have that. Didn't have their tapes, and then they just crushed the first piece. So it was a much more eventful recital than it usually is. Oh, I'm not timing this. We'll add 3 minutes. Remind me, we're going to add 3 minutes. No, we're going to add more than 3 minutes because I did the other thing too. So anyway, my piece, I was second to the end. And I think it went well. We'll watch it in a bit. I think one thing that I noticed when I was watching the recording was that my wrist was not moving very much. That's why I do these. The whole point of that piece being assigned and doing that piece is because it's supposed to help loosen up my vibrato. it's one of the pieces that when my teacher lost his vibrato for a while, for like a few years, and he spent a long time getting it back. And the Sati no Cien one was one of the pieces that really helped him get it back. So that was why we did the piece. So I still have work to do there, but I thought dynamics were pretty good. Room for more. There's always room for more dynamic dynamics. But one thing that I was working on was a bow stroke thing. And so some of the notes, like... move my bow fast at the very beginning of the note and then slower. And if it like that I think I did well. So that was good. So I'm not going to play that piece today because I'm kind of sick of it. I'm going to keep playing it to use as a vibrato exercise. But I need like a little break. So I'm going to focus on some other stuff, and I am working on acquiring. Like my teacher has this whole a whole folder full of slow sad pieces, and those are the ones that are pretty good for working on a big, wide, slow vibrato. So anyway, that's what's happening there. And then I ordered an iPad. I ordered an iPad Pro, so that I can read sheet music on the iPad. It's a refurbished second generation iPad Pro. So I got a good deal on it. I have been watching like 7 or 8 different sites that do refurbished iPads. For like probably a month or two. I figured after Christmas, after the holidays, especially since there was a new iteration of one of the iPads, that people would be probably replacing their old ones and trading them in. So I was watching and I found one in my price range. And the reason why I have a second generation, I got a second generation, is because the iPad that usually sits down here that I have my Mujo on, it's a third generation iPad Air. So it's got a lightning connector. The newer ones use a USB-C connector, and it uses the Apple Pencil, the first version of the Apple Pencil. And so the new iPad uses the same connector and the same Apple Pencil. So I don't have to that's one of the things that happens when you get a new tab. Like when I get a new iPad, it's like, okay, or a new phone, it's like, oh, I got to make sure I got the connectors. I got to make sure I've got the right cables. I got to make sure I've got a screen protector. I got to have a case and whatever. So this like minimized the amount of things that I had to buy. So anyway, so I'll show that off next week probably. I'm picking it up on Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I might start playing. So how that relates to vibrato is that I want to start practicing some more video game music, which I haven't been doing because it's all digital. And like, yeah, I could print stuff, but the stuff at VG Lead Sheets, so here, that's like the kind of a big source of video game music transcriptions that Jer Roke, who streams on Twitch, is like the founder, and there's a small group of people that run that site and do transcriptions, but it's like a 1,000-page PDF. I'm not going to print a 1,000-page PDF, or like, I don't want to like horse around with trying to like deal with that. So I've got So I'm going to start. There's a few pieces that I want to look through the VG lead sheets collection. I have kind of a list. Frolic Chris helped me put together a list of like the hits or like different pieces that I probably should know for going to like VGM Con and stuff. So I'm going to look at Frolic Chris's list, and I'll look at the music, and I'll find some pieces that are like slow, sad pieces, or just slow pieces that are good for vibrato practice. And then I'm going to start working those into my practice routine. But I need the iPad to do that, the iPad Pro, because this iPad Air, the screen is just, it's too small. Like it's just it's super annoying. Even with a foot pedal for page turner, it's just too much. It's like everything's too small, or you have to keep moving the page all the time, and it's not great. It is not great. So we got more things are happening. Okay, so we got done with the vibrato exercises. Let's add 5 minutes. I think that's probably close enough. And then we're going to do the Meow Mix Etude. And I call it the Meow Mix Etude because the beginning sounds, it's the same. I don't know if it's the same notes, but it's definitely the same intervals as the meow, 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 meow. So it is now in my brain permanently as the Meow Mix Etude. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to play it really slow and focus on my vibrato. So I'm going to have the metronome going at 46 BPM. That's actually maybe a little fast. Let's try 40. Yeah. So what I'm focusing on is weight transfer, and then getting a nice, slow, wide, and cathedor is ready. So good weight transfer, because you can't vibrate well if you don't have the finger that you're vibrating on doesn't have a good where your center of gravity is. That's got to be the center of gravity has to allow you. You need that nice pivot point, because when you're playing fast, a lot of times you just kind of keep your hand like this. But for slow playing, there are different techniques. For slow playing, you need to make sure that you get out over the finger that's making the note. So let's see how this goes. And this should be nice and loose, and I should, in theory, be continuous vibrato. And that's hard, and I'm probably not going to succeed, but I'm going to try. Do that measure again a few times. So this is an extension. So I have to do things differently. 3. Do that again. This measure, I don't know why this measure is hard. It's not hard. I just screwed up a lot. It's just a straight descending scale. And for some reason, I want to do things that aren't in the music. So you can probably see why I need the metronome for that, because I want to go faster, and the metronome forces me to play slower and do the things right. Well, thank you, Yellen. Very slow. What did we do this at 36? Okay. That's enough of that one. Now, what are we doing, Nina? All right. So now that in theory everything is all nice and loose, let's play Nina. Let's play Nina. Let me just get this ready for later. So we're going to do this in a little bit. Come back to this book. Okay. Play Nina, and then we will take a break after that and watch my recital. Oh wait, no. We'll do Nina, and then we'll do the double stop Etude. Then we'll take a break so that I can retune my cello, and we can watch my recital. I know some of you have seen it already, because I posted it in Discord, but we're gonna watch it together. And I can tune my cello down because the Mount Fort pieces that I'm working on are in GGDG instead of CDGA. It's a whole thing. I think if I didn't like the pieces as much as I do, it's already kind of a problem to have to like be retuning my cello all the time, as far as motivation to actually practice goes. So that's a whole thing. All right, so Nina. What's up, Hammy? Good to see you. Good to see you. How's the new mixer? Hammy got a new mixer recently. Everybody go follow Hammy. Hammy's awesome. I got to meet Hammy, which was fantastic. Hopefully I will perhaps see you again sometime soon. But yeah, Hammy streams a bunch of stuff, including games, but also some music stuff, and it's just a nice place to hang out. And while we're here, let's do a shout out to Cathedora. Cathedora is in a new Minecraft server, just announced today. So congratulations, Cathedora, for being invited to the new server. So lots of things going on over in Cathedora's neck of the woods. Cathedora's little part of Twitch. Cathedora says, thank you, I'm very excited. Yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds cool. And Cathedora has a Discord now, too. So that's a thing that's happening. By the way, you're welcome to post a link to your Discord in my Discord if you would like to do that. If you would rather keep things separate, that's fine too. I want to work on a little bit on Nina here. I want to work on this because I screwed this up. So I have a note, there's a bow management thing. So here in this part. Right there. It's an up bow. But I need to start it's an up bow, but I don't need a lot of bow. So just I want to start that near the frog. So let's work on that part a couple times. Let me get some rosin because I don't think I used any rosin today. And I think I could use it. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see if there's any other. This is technically a vibrato exercise, so let's see if there's other. I guess let's maybe just play the beginning again. probably good. I feel like I'll watch that back, but we'll see how the old wrist is doing. We'll see how much amplitude I'm getting. Like that. Let's do this. What's next? We said I'm going to do the double stop etude. The double stop etude. We're going to do... Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to move my cello stand over into a useful spot that I can reach. Okay, that's better. Fergster, hey, what's up? All right, so we're going to put this page behind the monitor so I can see a little bit better. Normally I don't have a monitor sitting on my music stand. Makes things a little more challenging. Okay, so working on double stops. So double stops are these. Double stops, because I told my teacher I want to start working on chords and double stops, because that's a thing that I haven't done a whole lot of. So, because I want to play some styles of music that aren't classical, and I think that would be useful. So this let's about halfway, kind of about halfway through this thing. So let me pick a few measures to work on here. Have equal pressure. I'm basically barring with my middle finger. If you don't have equal pressure on the strings, then you're out of tune. That is what I was told. Seems to be proving out in my own personal testing. Seems logical. All right, good. We've got Fergster's approval. Sure to work on too is I think I'm doing it okay. Well, I'll watch the recording back and see for sure. But like at the beginning, right? Like we have a half note, 2 quarter notes, and then two half notes. And so and then the double stops. So I kind of gotta like start at the frog and then work my way out as I'm playing the notes. I gotta work my way out to the tip so that I have enough bow to play the long note, which is actually 6 beats long. Like that. And then it's the same thing in the next phrase. Intonation. This is a really big stretch, right? So I got my first finger, kind of hard to see because the mic and my face is in the way, but I'm pointing my first finger back towards my ear. I think my third finger is supposed to anchor me here. Because we've got... is tricky. That same chord again. So this part, what are these notes again? So what's happening here is we're going regular first and second finger. Then I'm shifting back a half step for a 2 and a 3. My first finger is already, we're in half position, so my first finger is where it needs to be, and then I just got to reach up for my fourth finger. So we'll start here. Let's do that again. Let's do that whole section again. This is my favorite part of the thing here, right here. There it is. Let's do that again. That was pretty sloppy. Once more, and then I'll keep going. So let's go back here. Let's work on these arpeggios. I got that. So here I have a note to extend. So let's hear. Right there is where I need to extend. That note was not very clean, but let's work on this extension. That's definitely coming along. That is definitely coming along. Okay, so here, let's start here. So what happens here is this is in half position, or we're playing this in half position. I say we because this is my teacher's suggestion here. And then shift here. And then back to half position for this note. make sure to save enough bow for that. So let's do that section again. Keep my bow steady and even on both strings. Let's maybe do the whole thing, and then we'll move on. A weak ending there. Okay, much better ending on that. I feel good about ending that etude on that particular run through. Okay. What did I say we were gonna do? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna retune my cello. We'll see if this works. We're gonna watch my recital. And I'm gonna tune my cello. Okay, so let me... So this is up on my YouTube page, so for those of you that are watching from YouTube, when you're done with the stream, you can go back and watch the video under videos. For those of you that aren't watching on Twitch, there is my YouTube. It has all of my recitals, and I have a playlist starting with the most recent to the oldest of all 6 of the recitals that I've done since think the first one was in 2022. They're usually it's like they're the place where I take lessons is on a semester calendar. So I do one recital per semester. So this was the fall semester recital that I just did, and then I've got one coming up at the end of the spring semester, and I don't know what I'm going to be playing yet. So that'll be a thing. Anyway, let me do the technical things here. We got this. So that was my recital. And everybody go follow New Baroque. He plays the violin. Yeah, so I was saying earlier, I was pretty happy with that. Sorry for like the camera angle. Like I cut it out, but like I record myself because I don't like to make, it's all like I kind of don't trust my friends to do the recording, and like if somebody's taking time out of their day and their busy schedule to come and watch me do my thing, I'm not gonna make them do work. So anyway, so I like have the tripod set up with the camera on there, and then I turn the camera on and hit record, and then I walk out, and so it's a whole it's a whole thing. So I had everything, but I kind of had to guess where, like by where the chair was. So the framing's not great, but it does the job. Does the job. So yeah. Oh, I need music. So let's get rid of this music. My cello is tuned down. We got 3 G strings. Hey. I have some fun. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this big book in the way. So the music that I am learning, it was so also at the recital, so my cello teacher is just really loves this album. I guess it's a work, a suite, whatever you want to call it, by an Australian composer and cellist named Helen Mountfort. And I've talked about this before, but I put the link in chat. I bought my sheet music on Bandcamp, and it brings me so much joy because I love Bandcamp. So anyway, so Helen Mountfort, she's a modern composer. Actually, my teacher was like, it'd be really cool if I could I might contact her and see if I could play her, because she wrote out. So she's selling there's a version of the album that's just the recording of her playing things. And then she also is selling a version of the album with the sheet music. Yes, on Bandcamp, Nick. On Bandcamp. So you can go check that out. Like I said, there's 2 versions. So if you're interested in picking up the album and you don't need the sheet music, I think it's a little bit cheaper to get the album, but it's really well done. The sheet music is nice, and the sheet music doesn't necessarily convey everything that she's doing. Sheet music is merely a suggestion normally anyway. It can't really give you the complete picture of how you're supposed to play everything, but it gives you a good idea. And so my teacher would love to contact Mountfort and see if they can maybe do a Zoom thing and see if he can maybe play his interpretation for her, and they can do the cello thing. I don't know, with the professional cellist thing on a Zoom call or something. So we'll see if he actually contacts her and if they make a connection. But that'd be super cool. So anyway, the funny thing was, so the last student. So there were 8 performances or 9 performances. I was third to last, not second to last. But these were, I was the second to last soloist, and then there was a 2 cello and piano trio at the very end for the finale. But the student after me played 3 of the 3 pieces from the Mountfort album that are in this tuning that I'm playing. So they played Learn Music, what's up? Thank you for the donation to Music Cares. So Music Cares is they do a lot of good stuff. But right now they for musicians, not just musicians, but people in the music industry. So there's a lot of people that support the music industry beyond just the people that are playing the music. So, and they do a lot of really great things for disaster relief. In particular, right now, they're doing a bunch of stuff for people that are in Los Angeles that are needing aid and help and whatever. So that's what this fundraiser is for Music Cares. And then they have a page about the fire relief that's in chat if you want to go check that out. So anyway, so the student that played after me played the Salmagundi and Bedrock, which is the pizzicato piece that I've kind of started dabbling on and I've showed on stream. and then a third one called Flowstone. And I printed all 3 of those. I haven't started looking at Flowstone yet, but they did a really, really fantastic job. And they were unaccompanied. So, it does. Yeah, we'll fix that. I'll fix that when I'm done. Thank you for pointing that out, Nivex. So anyway, so this is, let me get my notes here. I don't think I wrote a lot of stuff down. I think most of the stuff that I wrote down was actually on the music. Yeah. My lesson this week was kind of, we did a lot of talking. We talked about the recital, and then we went through my teacher's slow, sad music to, I have a list of a few pieces that I'm trying to source. And then I wrote stuff down. Also, everybody go follow Learn Music. He's a fellow C-string club member. He plays the viola. He plays the guitar. He teaches. He plays piano. He plays glass flute and other things. And check out his YouTube channel too. So anyway, the Salmagundi. I'm just gonna, let's see. Maybe we'll work on like phrase by phrase. We'll work on it. Oh, and I have that elegy. So that's the intro, and we actually, I don't know why there's a time signature. I don't know why this is a time signature marker. It starts in 4/4 time, and then there's another 4/4 marker, and we do change time signatures several times in this piece, but we don't change any time signatures before the 4/4 is there again, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but whatever. Let's work on some phrasing here. So it starts off mezzo piano. Well, the first time you play through, it's mezzo piano, and then the second time you play the melody, it's mezzo forte, and then there's a crescendo. Let's do it again. Easy. That's nice. Now that I'm playing, there's an F sharp, and I was not playing the F sharp when I was working on this before. So I've corrected that. I've written some fingering notes. I've written a 3 above all the F sharps so that I remember to play F sharp. Okay, so here we've got, so for this next phrase, So these are, so it goes like this. Those are the notes, but there's the first, these are, the first two notes are really fast and they're really grace notes. Oh, and also I should note, because I think for sure Nick's going to want to hear this. So there's, at the very top, there's a performance note, and it says, molto rubato, should have the feel of Baroque improvisation. So I am purposefully sort of doing the things that I'm doing with the not the tempo, but the rhythm. Actually, Learn Music probably might find that interesting as well. And yeah, no problem with the shout out. Anytime. Anytime. That's a 3/4 measure. This is a 3/4 measure. So that's what we go into. And then, but anyway, let's not worry about that. I want to worry about these fast notes. I would like these notes to be faster. I would like those two notes to be faster. This is a very, so at least the Salmagundi and Bedrock, which is the pizzicato piece, and I think you might have been around Learn Music when I was working on this before. They're both, they both remind me of, like, I feel like this could be played on guitar. They just have sort of a guitar sort of feel to me, and maybe that's just because I'm a guitarist, but there's things that it's like she wrote this to play the cello like it's a guitar, which is kind of interesting. At least for Bedrock, it definitely feels that way. So here. See, and then I'm actually not sure if this should be a down bow or not. Yeah, those are both down bows. You could probably play this on viola if you wanted to bother with tuning your viola down. It'd probably be kind of cool on viola. So this next phrase, so we have, so the previous phrase ends on a 3/4, and then we go to 4/4, and then we go to 2/4, and then we go to 5/8, and then we go to 4/4. and we stay in 4/4 for a few measures, and then we go back to 2/4, and then we go to 5/8, and then we go back to 4/4, and then 5/4. So I'm not going to worry so much about counting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, because it says molto rubato, I'm going to try and, like, I don't want to necessarily like totally be like wrong, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to get stressed out about the time signature changing all the time. I want to just play by feel. So I think that's a really good exercise for me. And in this case, because I have the composer's recording of this that I can listen to, so that I can kind of get the feel for what she's trying to convey using her actual work. So that's pretty cool. And classical music, you don't get to do that very often. At least the older classical music. There's modern composers like Mountfort that I guess I wouldn't call this classical, but it's in, because it's modern. I don't know. Things are confusing. Let's see. So, the first measure is pretty easy. Oh, and it says mezzo forte, bouncy and playful. Something is buzzing on my cello, and ever since I got my strings changed, and I can't figure out what it is. We changed some bowings here. Why is that? He changed that to down bow. But how do we get there? Okay, that's what the original was. These in. We wrote one example in, but I need to write the rest of them in. Let's just do that. So I'm not sure here if he wants this to be all slurred or if he wants me to play what's written. But here, there, because I think this works out. So we go. Okay, so then here we changed something. So there's railroad tracks here, but there's we added a repeat. So we're going to repeat that back to here. Okay, so that's that part. There's all kinds of crazy time signatures going on there. And then we have... Now we have... oh, and there's a natural. So now we have this similar... We're in minor instead of major. At the beginning we were... Now we got an F natural, so we're... So it's the same finger pattern, we just go all the way down the strings. Let's work on some dynamics there. Okay, so it starts forte, and then it's molto rubato. So rubato means kind of it's not that you're not in time, but you're kind of playing with what you're not like, it's not like industrial music where you're just like the drum machine is just going 4 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, right? It's to steal. Rubare. Thank you, Learn Music. See, if you hang out with Learn Music, you learn music things. You learn music things. To steal time, if you will. Yeah, so you kind of, that's a good way to think about it, because you're still playing in time, but not all the notes are exactly mathematical and perfect, I guess, might be a way to think about it. So the measure is still however long the measure is going to be, but the notes within the measure are a little less precise. So here, so it starts forte, should be very legato, and then it gets even louder. I kind of like playing those, like where they feel a little triplety, a little, not necessarily syncopated is a little too strong of a word, but it just, that feels nice. So now we're on to the top of the second page. Except that's probably starts up bow. Yeah, the next measure starts up, or the next time it does that, it starts up bow. So we go. Ah, see, the second time, though, the first time we do this thing, the second time we do it is more sneaky. So the finger pattern, the first time we play it, is 4-2-1. For all of them. And this time it's 3-2-1, 4-2-1, 3-2-1, 4-2-1. Talk about a blues scale. There's your blues scale. There's your blues scale. Wait. So let's do the whole thing here. Let's do actually the first time and the second time. Oops. So now we're changing, we're transforming once again into 6/8 time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says like a jig. So it says a tempo, which means I think we're kind of done with the rubato stuff for a while. So now we're more normal, more on the beat. But this is a jig. So it goes. What is this? Bowing there, working on that. This is a very pentatonic sort of deal, minor pentatonic sort of thing going on in this whole piece. Are you a down bow? That's a 3. I'm gonna have to write you in here. You're a 3. Most of this is in second position. we go 3/3 on 2 different strings, so that's a thing that is a little bit more tricky. Ah, wait, what's going on here? So now it's the same note, the same tone, but it's written differently because I guess this is like a normal thing. I wasn't sure if it was like a normal thing or if this was just something that Helen Mountfort was doing in her transcription. But I guess it's normal for the notes that I'm playing, because I'm tuned down. The sheet music looks like the sheet music pretends, like where the notes are on the staff, it pretends I'm in standard tuning, but I'm not in standard tuning. So what happens then is this tone. Normally, well, this is a G, and that's normally a G, but that's also a G, but normally that's an A. So it looks like an A on the page. If I play the G, this G, it looks like an A on the page. If I play this G, it looks like a G. So it's kind of how you can tell what string you're on. Actually, part of it. But sometimes I get confused because the tone is the same, but here actually something is different. So let's find out what's different. I can just I don't know, learn music, and anybody else in chat that plays, I know Yellen plays guitar too. Are you just I am seeing the guitar shapes in my brain as I'm playing this. I'm seeing the pentatonic scale, the box form in my head while I'm playing this. Okay, so here. The box shape, yep. So if we do this again. To figure out what is rattling on this cello, because I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it, and it's kind of annoying. I don't know if it's the tailpiece. I was trying to figure it out, and I was doing this because there's something rattling around in my cello, and a dust bunny eventually came out after doing this for 5 or 10 minutes. I don't hear anything in here, so I don't know. I took the end pin off even, kind of by mistake. I didn't mean to take it all the way off, just to check stuff. There is still something in here. I don't know. Anyway, guitar pick. So I dropped my dampit. So in a violin, well, a cello, I don't need one because I have a carbon fiber cello. But there's a little thing there's a thing called a dampit that you can get to as one of the ways that you can help control the humidity of your instrument. And so it's it's maybe half a centimeter. diameter, maybe like, third of an inch, half an inch, something like that. No, half an inch would be too fat. Maybe like third of an inch or so. And you wet it, and it holds. It's got like a rubber tube, and then there's like some kind of fabric-y, spongy thing inside that will hold the water. And I had one for like 30 years that I had used when I was, like we used to, when I was in middle school, we used to, we were middle school kids. So we were, like 12 or whatever. And I think we had orchestra right after lunch, which was probably not great for our teacher. But some of my friends and I, we had our dampits, and so we would always, at the beginning of class, when everybody's kind of, filing in and they're getting their instruments out and they're getting tuned up, we would go down the hall to the bathroom to wet our dampits, and we would be in the bathroom and be like silly, like splashing water at each other, whatever. But anyway, that very same dampit that I had when I was in middle school, I had up until a few years ago. And it actually, like, I noticed there's like a little stopper so that it doesn't go into the F hole. But I noticed the little stopper looked like it was starting to detach, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And I'm like, I better get this out. So, and then like get something else, get a new one, or just get some other solution. And as I was getting it out, the top fell off and the dampit went into the violin. So I took it into the shop and was like, can you get my dampit out, please? And then I needed a new bridge. And anyway, so I just had him get the dampit out, put the bridge on, put some nice new strings on, and it was whatever. But it was like, I was kind of embarrassed when I took it. I was like, I'm sure they've seen much, much worse. But I was like, oh, my dampit is in there. Actually, there's a music store. There's a music store called Cadenza Music here in town, and they on their Instagram, they service band and orchestra instruments. It's, I try and buy some sheet music from them, cause they're just like they're very nice people. And I try and shop local, for as much as I can for stuff like that. But, they have a regular series that they were doing on their Instagram that was like, how there's the what did people get stuck in their butts this year lists at the end of the year. Well, they were doing that for people's instruments, that people would bring their instruments in, and like the band instruments are there's because you got the bell, like on the trumpet and the trombone, and like on tubas, like stuff just gets in there sometimes, and you don't know how it gets in there. And it was kind of amusing. I'm sure other music shops probably do some. I'm sure they're not the only ones out there that do it, but I saw it was a thing that I saw them do. But yeah, that's not a weird thing though. That's like a normal. That makes sense that you might have a dampit stuck in your violin. These things happen. But like a golf ball, no. At least with a guitar, like I don't have F holes on any of my guitars. My electric guitars are solid body, and then my two acoustic guitars have a circle for the hole. So it's a little easier to, like, you can kind of get your hand in there, or I can. I can. Maybe if you have larger hands than I do, it's a little bit more tricky, but yeah. What were we doing? We were doing this. We were doing this. I build with sake. Welcome in. Which mezzo forte cello do you have? Oh, you know your carbon fiber cellos. It's the, oh, thank you, Cathedora. It's the design line. So it was, it was before, I got it, I think, right when they were releasing another, the other model, like the lower end model, and I think there's a higher end model now too. I think this is like the middle model now. You got a wood one. Nearly bought one. Yeah, so this is just the acoustic one, and I really wanted a hybrid, but it's just I don't know if there's only like 6 mezzo forte dealers in the US. And I wanted to play it before I bought it. And then I drove all the way down to Paducah, Kentucky, because that was the closest dealer to me. And it was on my way to Nashville, and I was taking a trip to Nashville. And I played this one, and they didn't have any hybrids. And they gave me a pretty good price because it had been out. Like, it wasn't technically a new instrument anymore. And I know, like, string instruments, like, you don't usually buy them new, but like, it's a whole thing. But yeah, they gave me a good deal because it had been out and about at gigs and stuff. So I was like, well, and that was when the price had gone up too. So if I would have bought a design line hybrid, I would have had to pay the price increase plus the cost of the pickup. So I was like, and then I would have had to have it shipped, and I was like, I'm just going to get this one. I think I tried the design line, but I didn't really like the sound for 7K Canadian. Yeah. I'm lazy, so that's why I wanted a carbon fiber cello. But like, one of the other students one of my teacher's other students has a Lewis and Clark. And so I got to play, and sometimes it's usually me first and then the other carbon fiber student, back to back. And so I have played his cello, and the Lewis and Clark is nice, but it's even louder than the mezzo forte. So yeah, the Lewis and Clark, like, they're nice and it feels nice, and but I share walls with neighbors, so that was one reason why I was like, well, it was the extra cost, and then it was, the fact that not playing it would have been fine because I could play the other guy's cello, and like, it felt very nice, but it wasn't like, is it really like $2,000 or $3,000 nicer? Like, probably not. So, and it's louder, and that's a problem. Like, this is a pretty loud cello that projects really well, but I certainly wouldn't want it any louder. So, I'm happy with it. The savings is on luthier costs. But I still take it in. I just had strings replaced. I'll need to replace the bridge at some point. But like, yeah, you're right though. Like, it's not a lot of maintenance. But I still try and support my local shop. I play violin too, so I support them that way as well. And I bought my electric cello from the local people. They're very nice. One of them actually used to live upstairs from me. Anyway. And you can play it outside, which doesn't come in that handy here in Minnesota. But I could, if I wanted to, I could like take it to a park and do stuff. Anyway. Yeah, so here, I'll just do this again. So this is what I'm working on. If you're interested in, I bought the sheet music at Bandcamp, which made me extraordinarily happy. Playing outside is one reason I considered. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's not why it was kind of like, oh, that's a neat perk, but it wasn't, because I don't like, you know, some people that play weddings and stuff, it's really helpful to have a carbon fiber instrument, because then the sun is really bad for the varnish on wood instruments, and then you don't have to deal with you have less concerns about changing of temperature and humidity, and a little safer. But I'm not planning on playing weddings anytime soon. Okay, so how long have you been playing? I build with sake. I have only been playing for 4.5 years. About 3 years? Okay, cool. Stumbled across your channel a few years ago. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, because I saw you're not like you didn't come up as a first time chatter. Oh yeah, you did. You did. How's it going? What are you working on? What are you playing these days? Says, have you considered buying a wood one? I've thought about it, but cellos are expensive and I'm lazy, and that was the whole reason why I didn't buy a wood one in the first place. Let's see. I build with sake says I have conceded to learning Bach. The cello suite. It's pretty hard but doable. Yeah, I mean it's a really good thing to have in your repertoire. I haven't worked on it yet. We're kind of diverging down this path of I don't know what, but I told my teacher I wanted to kind of explore things other than classical in my like not lesson works, and then we ended up with the Mountfort stuff. I'm gonna have to write it so that I know to switch strings. See, other than that, I mess with Suzuki, but I do looping and electronic stuff on my own. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna, when we're done with this, I'm gonna get my looper out. I'm still very much a noob to looping. Oh, my iPad battery's running out, so let me just plug that in. What kind of electronic stuff? I am actually also a DJ, and I am very much into like industrial dark wave and EBM and dark techno, post-punk, stuff like that. I'm gonna have to write that. It's open. Oh, do you stream, by the way? I'll shout you out and I'll give you a follow if you stream. Let me know. You don't? That's cool. considered it, but I'm way too lazy. I have a day job and don't need more to commit to. That's fair. I have a day job too. And I play violin, guitar, cello are my main instruments. You can see behind me I have a bass back there, but that's just that's because I know where the notes are and I can play guitar. I'm not a bass player. But like I thought I'd have time to get my skills back on violin, maybe play some guitar, and I just don't have time to do all of the things. So many things, so many little time. Okay, so let's just go to this next part, and then I think we'll call it, and we'll get the electric cello out and the looper out. So this next part, then we got some double stops. We have similar problems. I have a Eurorack synth, guitars, DJ, etc. Yeah, I bought a new DJ controller because I have a standalone. Standalone Pioneer XDJ RR, and it's kind of a pain to set up. Like I don't have enough space to leave it set up, so I kind of got out of the habit of like getting, like my DJ library is like not in shape right now, and then I upgraded Record Box, and then I lost some stuff when I did that, and whatever. So anyway, I bought a smaller controller, the FLX4, which is like their new controller. It's like one of the entry-level controllers, but it's a really nice compact controller and it fits on my desk. And so I was like, cool, like I can just like set it up, plug it in, and hit go, right, to like play, rather than having to fart around with like getting my keyboard stand out and getting the thing, and like moving my monitor around or whatever. And then I haven't had time to do that. But my setup is all streamlined. And then I need to switch DJ software too, so that's a whole thing. I'm going to move to Virtual DJ from Record Box, and then I got to buy a license, and it's a whole thing. So everything just sits there and collects dust, basically. Yeah. Hashtag DJ problems. Hashtag DJ problems. Okay, so this part goes... What did I write? Something is written... Oh, simile. So it's the same kind of bowing here, but now we're doing this with double stops instead of just with one note. So we've got... Nivex says, one of my Minnesota game streamer friends just started a DJ channel with the FLX4. Oh, if you wanted to post in Discord in the promo channel, I would be interested in checking them out. Build with Sake says, I have vinyl and I'm suddenly considering going from digital to vinyl again, nothing to plug in or die. Yeah, there is something to be said for the simplicity of simplicity. You trade, one set of complexities for a different set of complexities when you spin vinyl. Rebuilding a digital library is painful, yeah. I fortunately didn't, I have my DJ library is separate from my main music library, so my main music library is I'm trying to get it to be as many FLAC files as possible, which for those of you that aren't audio nerds is high quality lossless format. And then I have my DJ library in 320 kilobit per second MP3s. And I have I try and just bring the songs, I don't bring, I do sometimes bring full albums over, but I try not to because that gets me in trouble. So at least I have at least my DJ library isn't my whole how many hundreds of gigabytes of music. What's up, DCS Deep? Sorry I'm late. I was busy. I'm not gonna go there. Yes, welcome. Welcome in. What's up, Daniel? Everybody go follow Daniel. Daniel plays guitar. Very well, indeed. He's a professional guitarist. Cathedora says, I'm going to head to bed. Been a wild day. Have a great rest of your stream. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for modding. And everybody, make sure you're following Cathedora because they're killing it on the Twitch, and their channel is growing, and they just got into a cool new Minecraft server, and it's a nice place to hang out. Usually mornings Eastern time is kind of when all of the fun happens. Have a good night, Cathedora. So this section here. Buzzing is I might have to bring this in and see if the shop can figure out what's buzzing. That's the next part. All right, so we're like halfway through this piece. I think that's probably enough on this for today. So let's switch instruments. Let's do this. Here, let me play my recital again, because Daniel just got here and DCS Deep just got here, and I don't think Sake, I don't think you were here when I did this. So I'm going to put this cello down, and I'm going to get my electric cello. Yes, DCS Deep. I was making a joke. I was making a joke. To anyway. Given information that you provided, I was making a joke. Okay, let's do this. And while I deal with my electric cello and plugging in my looper. Let's do this. Where are you? And we're back. I don't know what is... Here, let me close this. All right. Let's play some drop while I continue to deal with changing instruments here. I labeled my cables. There we go. I labeled my cables. So I think I've got that dealt with. But I upgraded my my Helix Stomp XL. Matt Bell, I upgraded the firmware. This was last weekend. And then I have a set of presets from Matt Bell, who is a pretty awesome electric violinist. But I like reset everything to the factory reset. So this will be interesting. I reset everything with a factory reset, and I did a backup, but I didn't care. Haven't done a lot of configuring anyway. So I put the new, and then Matt Bell has new patches or new presets. And so I loaded his new versions on. Let's do another. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. I will continue to tune. Which you can't hear because I'm not sending that to the out. But you can hear me talking. Hey, Daniel, very nice. Oh, Yellen, just barely missed. Okay. You can hear some of the tuning. Yeah, well, I turned off my, the AT2020, my cello mic. And now I'm just going through my, my vocal mic. Anyway, well, let's just do, see you all from here. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, they're definitely not 100% silent. I hosted Holly Tatnell, who you guys everybody should follow. But anyway, she is a producer, songwriter, etc. But she's a pianist though, so she does everything. Everything on her streams is contained in her computer, so she doesn't have to deal with analog instruments. And I'm not used to playing with other people, so I was like, I'll play my electric cello, because then I'll just give you the line and it'll be easy. Forgetting that I also was using my condenser mic for my vocals, and like we should have been muting me all the time, and there was a lot of bleed from the acoustic, from the sound off of the cello that was not through the electronics, and that made me sad. But we learned things. So anyway, I haven't tried any of these presets with this cello here. And I need headphones. Like maybe I could get away with using my monitor, but I feel like that is just asking for trouble. So let me plug these things in. I feel like that is asking for trouble. And I really don't like playing with headphones because cellos are awkward, and I can't use my good headphones. I have to have something that's flat, because otherwise then this side the cello, and it's just in the way. So that's a whole thing. That is a whole thing. So we'll do that. Oh, and I wanted to get my bass out too. So I was working on a loop. I'm going to change the display in a second here. I was working on trying to figure out how to loop Right Where It Belongs by 9 Inch Nails. And I wrote out, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it all on cello. And last time when I did this, I decided that I probably want to do the first, to do some stuff on the bass rather than trying to do it on cello, because there's octaves, and octaves are a pain in the ass on a cello. And I don't know why that's so loud. Do not know why that's so loud. Because I have no gain on that input. Cello's not even connected to the looper. One more cable to plug in. I had to unplug everything to do the upgrade, because I had to do the upgrade at my desk. This one's called synth bass. Kind of wacky. How did I find the electric cello? I knew about NS Design Instruments. So I looked for a dealer locally. Unwoman plays an NS Design. She plays this same cello, except she's got a 5-string. So I knew about her. And I knew about Ned Steinberger. And there's several dealers locally. So I went. I actually have an NS Design violin as well. The same. It's the same instrument. It's just a violin instead of a cello. Same, like they have 3. It's the middle one in the line. So yeah, I ordered that one from the electric violin shop because I couldn't get one locally. So I had a preset called Clarity that was kind of a nice, just acoustic sound, and I'm hoping that it's still here. I thought it was just one of the stock sounds. Oblivion is the distortion that I was using. Oh, how do I find it? As in, how do I like it? How do I feel about it? It plays different. And when I was talking to Unwoman, because I asked her some questions, like we're friends, and I booked her about 10 years ago, and she stayed with me and stuff. So like we know each other. So I asked her some questions about her cello, and she said to think about electric and acoustic as 2 different instruments, which I think is fair. Like I feel like electric guitar and acoustic guitar are different as well. I think they're maybe a little bit more different. So have you looked at any electric cellos, Sake? Because like I looked at the Yamahas, and those seem to be, I don't know, I really liked that these don't have batteries. Like these are, this has an active and a passive pickup. So I'm just using the passive pickup right now, but there's a charger behind me. It's got a capacitor instead of batteries. So, Piano Land, thank you for the raid. Hello. Welcome in. Here, let me give you a shout out. What's going on? How was your stream? Let's see here what's going on. Let me follow you. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Tripwire. I play the cello. We just did some practice on my acoustic cello, which is sitting over there. You can't just off camera. And now I was gonna practice with my electric cello and do some looping. I am very new at looping. What's up, Dark Native? I know Dark Native. Y'all should follow Dark Native too. But yeah, we're just switching instruments, and I'm just looking for a particular preset on my effects pedal that's right over here. If I do this, you can see it. But yeah, I've been playing cello for about 4.5 years, so I'm still learning. I can't find that preset. But check this out. This is called an auto wah. This is one of Matt Bell's presets. That's pretty fun. But that's not what I want to use right now. It must be this one. See, Dark Native says Trippy will love Piano Land. He's classically trained pianist. Cool. Very cool. What's up, Alpha? Alpha says sounds like the background music of digging up potatoes. This will do. It's kind of quiet though. It's kind of quiet. Thanks for the follow. And thanks for the raid. I hope your stream was awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Hopefully we're not gonna like blow out any ears. So now that I've got the cello situation all figured out, I'm gonna switch to bass. I'm gonna switch to bass. So here, I'm gonna do this. So I don't cause you problems. Cellos are so very awkward. And my chair is very squeaky. My throne, my drum throne. Okay, so let me tune this thing up. I'm not actually a bass player. I play guitar. I just got this back from the shop. They got it all nice for me. Had it set up. I had it. New strings. I haven't actually really played it since I got it back. So you're a basic player. DCS deep. For those of you that don't know DCS Deep, he likes the dad jokes. SiriBot says, Hostess, do you have a preference for where you sit? Dad down. I don't understand. All right. So we want this at 63 or 73. And, oh, let me change the display because that's not what we're doing anymore. Oh, I have that command disabled. Let me turn it on to make my life easier. There we go. Perfect. Piano Land says, sorry, I didn't bail or anything. I had to verify my phone. I needed to go find a second account to change settings. You know, stuff happens. And I'm not, you know, I appreciate the raid. So even if you had to raid and run, I still appreciate it. And I know, like, I'm always really hungry. That's like a thing. Like, streamers are usually really hungry when they finish streaming. So, like, you know, stuff happens. But I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad your stream was great. I'm sorry that you had to deal with changing accounts, though. And then I need to do this. And there's more changeover than I remembered there being. I have some notes that I need to pull up. We'll see if it works. See, Piano Land says, no problem, it needed to be done at some point. I'm just lazy. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes things just have to be so painful that you're like, fine, I'll just do it now. One of my old bosses used to say, this business is all about pain. Working at a tech startup. How do I cancel this? I don't want to. MuseScore has given me this like ad for their thing, and I don't see how to dismiss it. Other than saying start now. No. Just. Well, this is very frustrating. Oh, the dismiss button was just really hard to see. Okay. There we go. Sweet. I can't actually see my notes. That's fine. I think I remember what I did. Let's see. I Build with Sake says, on my to-do list this year is to get rid of my 7-string for a bass. Okay, so we need tempo at like 73. Okay, so if you're wearing headphones, I would suggest you just move them away from your ear for a second, because I need to test something with the metronome, and I'm gonna try and turn it down before I test it, but things might happen. So this is your warning here. I'll go like this when I'm done. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. You know, I can probably pull that up over here. Maybe not. Okay, whatever. So it starts on D. Right there. Yes, that's how we do it. This works better. Said I'm not a bass player, so I'm gonna finger style guitar this bass. Bass players don't do things like this. Oops. We'll see if this loop works. Oh yeah, pretty clean loop. Okay, so that's the verse. Okay, so let me switch tracks. See, Dark Native says bass strings could build calluses faster, I think. Yeah, because they're so fat. Let's see. Let's try this. No. So now this is the chorus. Wait. No, that is not what I want. Just got to remember what I wrote. I just wrote some stuff out like literally 10 minutes before I went live. That's why I was late. I like it up here better. Bill Wasake says, I kind of feel like now after playing cello for a few years, if you have calluses, you're doing it wrong. Oh, yeah, because it just like your fingers just become they're like not even calluses anymore. They're just like your finger has morphed into something that's, I don't know. we need the metronome. Said I was new at this looping thing. Let's see. Bill Bisaki says, I don't know, I use a lot less finger pressure to stop notes. If I use too much, I can't move as fast. Yeah, that's one thing that I need to work on is being more relaxed with my left hand just in general and using gravity. It's a whole work in progress. I don't know if that was clean. Let's do it again. Just wanting to push the tempo. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. All right, let's turn this off. So, let's stop this, go back to track 1, and let's see here. Oh, I wanted to write out the fingerings here. Night, Nivex. Thanks for hanging out. I think I like that better, pizzicato. We need to... Oh, you know what we need to do, though? Well, that's all the way up. Daniel, my cello must have gone on Ozempic. This is how it's always been. This is the electric cello, Daniel. This is how the electric cello works. You have two black cellos. Which one is none more black? This one, so this is black, and the other one is a charcoal gray. The carbon fiber one is charcoal. But this one is officially from the manufacturer. This is black. All right, let's see if we can do this. So we'll play this. Oh. Still getting used to like the foot pedal thing. Okay, so I didn't layer this. Let's do this as a layer. Let's see what I did with the track change. No. We need to change some settings. So I need to set the, so there's two tracks. The verse is on track 1. The chorus is on track 2. And what we need to do is we need to set, there are four measure loops. And I think this is written down someplace where I can see it. I have notes on like the different parts. So the intro is the A part, or the verse part is there's 4 measures of intro, then there's 16 measures. So it does that first loop, what's on track 1 it'll do once, and then the verse will start and it'll do it 4 times. Then it'll do it 4 times for the chorus. Then we'll do the chorus for 4 times, so that's track 2. Then we go back to track 1 4 times, or track 1 for 1 time, and then the verse kicks in and we do track 1 4 times. Then we go back to the chorus 4 times through that loop, and there's an interlude, and then there's an ending. So I forget how it's supposed to, there's a way to set this up so it'll just like, I want it to just, when I switch to track 2, I want it to just start playing track 2 rather than having to switch to track 2 and then hit the start, and then I want the other one to stop. Might be on a different memory. There we go. Play mode. Multi-single. Okay. Change at the loop end. Start series, track chain. Okay. Let me just Okay, so we're now saving this stuff into the memory here. I have a Boss RC500, so I have 2 tracks. It's got 3 buttons on it, and I've got 2 tracks, which seems both simultaneously sometimes too much for me and sometimes too little. I think this, so right where it belongs, doesn't have a C part, so I think it's a good one, and it's not very hard, so I think that's a good one to be practicing with. So I think what happens here, so which track are we on? Okay, so I think if I hit the track select, what happens? It just switches. But now if I start the second track, so there's a nice clean transition. That's very nice. So then if I want to switch back, so then at the end of this loop, this time through the loop, it should switch back over to the verse. Yep. Cool. We learned something. We did something. And then I think I wanted to play the vocal part here. That's where it switches. Okay, cool. Let's see what this does. Oops. so if we do this, that was just me screwing around. Let it go around once. So we need to remember to hit the pedal. So let's do that. Let's let this go once. How do I jump in there though? I'm trying to think about like where if I jump in. I don't know if this is right. I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to this song today. Quite as it seems. So how does this actually go? Everything around. Yeah, I don't think this is right. Let me go back to the first loop. See the animal in his cage that you built. Are you sure what side you're on? that's the melody. What if everything around you isn't quite as it seems? Yeah, I don't think this is right. I think well, we'll figure that out. I don't have, and it's like, I'm not a singer, and I'm just like singing it just to see if I can like latch on to the actual melody and tones. Yeah, I'm not picking up on it. But anyway, got some practice. Let me just try improvising. And Ibilbasake, thank you for hanging out. It was good to see you and get to chat about cello, and I hope you have a good night. So I think maybe what we can do is maybe I'll improvise and just like improvise, and then just for practice purposes go back and forth between the two tracks to practice just switching between the two. Darn it, I thought I started it. There we go. It's got to be green, not white. So this will run through and then it'll switch. probably want to stay away from that range because that's where the if you have too much stuff, like when you're building a loop, you want to kind of spread out the frequencies and like the tones, especially if you're just doing it like on one instrument. So okay, well, that was some good practice, I think. I'll need to, I think, so I got the, here, let me save this. So save what's on the looper. I need to go back and listen to the original song and figure out, there's a different high melody on the chorus. And then I also need to revisit what the heck I wrote down for the chorus bass part because I think it's very wrong. So anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out. We're going to do this. Oh, that's not the right scene. We're going to do that. Copy the raid call. We're going to find somebody to raid. We're going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. So thank you.